back to Adventure 82. You join me back at what used to be the Greenville station site. We're now off up that way to go and find two stations today. Actually, we're going to find Pomp Marquet station and we're going to have a look at Don Bridge station. So we'll end up today right next to the Elephant Park. So let's get going and have a look at what's up there. Right, so as I'm not even moving yet, and yet we're still already finding the concrete posts which are the bottom of the bank, not at the top where you would expect them to be, which makes no sense. But anyway, if you can explain that one to me, let me know. But anyway, what we'll actually do is we'll work our way up the actual track bed, which is what we're meant to be doing, instead of being confused about why the posts are at the bottom instead of the top. So we go off this way today. There is, like I say, two stations on the way here. Pont Marquet and Don Bridge. Don Bridge station was more than just a station. It had a couple of sidings on it and a bit of a passing loop. With that in mind, let's go see what we can find today. Right, so Pont Marquet station, which is what we're on our way up to, and Don Bridge. So we do some information about them whilst we make our way up. I think that's the nice thing to do. So, Pont Marquet station opened sometime in the late 1880s. No one has an exact date on it, which isn't particularly helpful. Don Bridge, however, is one of the original stations that opened with the line in 1870. There was basically just the three stations when the line first opened. So you had, there's an Oban's terminus where we've come from, Don Bridge in the middle, and then another station at the end, which was just called the Temporary, which is basically a stop just before it turned and went into the quarry. Later on is when they added in like Pomp Market, which we've seen today, Greenville behind us, which we've already done. What other stations did they add in? They added in the Corbière one. That was the last one actually to be added, surprisingly. And of course they added in the point system, which was where the Temporary was. The station doesn't actually have a name, it's just called the Temporary, because when they had the idea to build a proper Corbière station, they put a station at the end, which was, like I say, that original end station just before the quarry, and they called that the Temporary because it was never going to be there for very long. They didn't see the point in naming it, so they didn't name it, they just called it the Temporary. And then the last station to be added apart from that was the Lemoy station, which they added in for people who wanted to use the golf course. So that's all the stations we're going to be visiting over the course of this line. So in the meantime, we shall work our way some more up here and see what we can find. I have to say, though, this is a much more pleasant walk than walking alongside the dual carriageway when we were doing the other one. I mean, the history behind the railway, or wherever it is fascinating, but sometimes the locations become less so. Okay, this is interesting. This is very cleared off here, and again very clear here, and clearly this had something to do with the railway, because even the barrier posts are set back just in this section, and then you have a little path that goes off down here. So there's a path there, and then the concrete posts go down. You can see here this one, has got some sort of the ending little diagonal bit on it to show that's an entrance, so that clearly is where that bit ended. So this access path, I'm guessing, was to up here, this big clear area which we've just found, and it's clear on the other side too. So I want to know, I'm wondering what that's for. And unusually these actually go up on an angle up the cliff face there, so I wonder what this was all cleared for. Maybe a small siding or passing area? Don't know. How peculiar. If anybody has any information on that bit, let me know, because there's nothing on that anywhere. I'll have a double check when I get home, but I don't recall there being anything about that. You can see this is also now much wider than the older track, down the other end of the town track, if you like. I suppose, to be fair, in town you're limited to space more, but this is much wider. But then there's a lot of opened out flat bits, so I'm wondering if there was like little sidings along here perhaps, or here's another. See, these are so purposefully flat. They can't be this flat by accident. It's very rare for the floor to be that flat naturally. So, that's very interesting. So, as you can probably see, we've got another area coming up here. This area up here we're coming to is our first station of today. This is Pont Marquet we're approaching. I wonder if that was here when the railway was. She's got an opening there into somebody's house by the looks of it. I wonder if that was there when the railway was here. I mean, obviously that gate looks much newer, but that doesn't mean it wasn't here then. It just means they put a new gate in. But yeah, these cliff faces and rocks, they must have been a nightmare to dig back in the day. Right, so as is custom, it's break / refreshment time again. Probably slightly less healthy than normal. It's donuts, but
homemade.
Not really homemade. You bought them.
They were freshly made. Homemade from the cafe we got them from.
We can settle for freshly made. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
As you can tell, ask though by like these three specifically over here. It doesn't matter if they're homemade or not. It just matters that they're donuts.
It was a big pink donut. Pink.
Apparently, pink donuts are better.
I'm very, very unimpressed. It's very
Lydia's trying to avoid the camera as always. It's not working, but she's trying to. Right, so this is a site of the former Pont Marquet station. And as you can see, it's quite a big area because they've left it all cut out and tidy as it was. But there's a couple of pictures of this, but again, pictures for quite a lot of these stations on this end are scarce. I don't know why. But in case you're wondering why, I just paused for a minute there. I've got a new viewer and it's a four-legged kind. You can also see though where they've brushed up things against the end there, and that looks quite moundy. I know that Pomp Market was a relatively substantial station, and there's been work done here very recently to widen all this for the cycle track and going across the road to make it safer and things. So I mean, look, it's so new. You've got a sign there that says new pedestrian crossing. So, but you can see here where they've kind of piled up everything to the side there, stone-wise. So I wonder if, like, for instance, this bank maybe, and whatever's under here has got remains of the station in it. The station, when you came up here, the railway, the train actually came up on this side, and the platform was on that side, which you'll be able to tell once I'll put the photo in for you. Pont Marquet station is one of those ones where I can actually give you a bit more information than most, because the geographics around it haven't changed too much. So roundabouts here, you would have had the wooden station building with Pomp Market written on it, and then you would have had your platform go all the way along there. It's quite a lengthy platform for this railway. Not in the grand scheme of things. I know there's ones that are much longer. Came to about here. You can see where they've dug in there. It's actually still you can still see where they kind of dug into that rock there. But so yeah, your platform went along here. This train would have come in on this side and would have gone straight through there, where the cycle path continues, and onward to Don Bridge, which is where we're off to next. But yeah, late 80s this was put in here, and the amount of clearing they've done to put it in, a very substantial station, to be honest. The picture of Pont Marquet station was actually taken from the other side of the road. So when I cross the road in a minute, to work our way further up, what I will do is I'll turn and I'll get you a shot of it this way so you can see, or a rough idea of, in relation to where things were, to how things are now, because that's that house that's up, there's a house up here, that was still there. So we'll continue on with that one. But yeah, you can see here, look, now that what they've done is had the station here, and then your railway would have crossed through and then gone across the road and continued on that way. So that's what we're going to do. But we'll have a look at what we'll do is I'll go across the road and then we'll have a look at the other side. So I'll see you on the other side of the road. Right, so we're now the other side of the road, and basically what you would have had is down here, that's where your railway continues. Pont Marquet station is that side, and it would have come straight across here, across the road and through over to there. If I come back this way slightly, on the end of here, just about there, is where you would have had your wooden Pomp Marquet station building, which you'll see in the picture below at the end of the video. But this bit here, this road that goes up here to this house, that was there even then. So that's one of the few things that's still left from when that station was still there. Right, I've been a plonker, and I've forgotten to do an end video for the Pont Marquet video, which you've just been watching. So that's the end of Pont Marquet. In the next video, we'll be working our way to Don Bridge, and yeah, so I'll see you next week for the Don Bridge video. Do subscribe, like, comment, you know, the usual stuff people ask you to do. And thank you for following as long as you have, and it's much appreciated. I didn't actually think that many people would be as interested as they are, so thank you for that. And yeah, as providing I'm not a plonker and forget to film something else I should have done, I'll see you next week.